It's a day long awaited by these 100 graduates of the 2021 Employability and Entrepreneurship Program. Employers and business tycoons are also attending this job fair to make their preferred choices among the graduates. The program is an initiative of the Nasarawa state government under the Human Capital Development. At this job fair, the graduates showcase their entrepreneurship, technical and employability skills to the delight of all. The Nasarawa state government is impressed with the 2021 program and will not rest on its laurels until its goals are achieved. The government wants the graduates to make judicious use of the knowledge and skills acquired.
It is therefore with special gratitude to God that we are gathered to graduate yet another set of the job fair employability trainees overseas. This is significant as we go a long way in availing our teaming unemployed youth the rare opportunity to shake up idleness and engage in proactive ventures that enhance their economic well-being and prosperity. I therefore charge the outside Nigeria not to relent, but continue to train more Nigerians in our best to empower our teaming youth. I wish to charge the participants and the graduates in this case to make good and judicious use of the knowledge and skills acquired to enable them to achieve the noble objective of the program. As government, we will continue to provide the needed enablement for our youth in order to guarantee their gainful employment and self-reliance, thereby providing the needed shelter to the good people of the state.
Your Excellency, this year, 108 participants were mobilized, out of which 112 were registered. 9 persons had below 50% attendance rate, hence will not receive certificates, while 102 participants will be certified today. Words cannot express my gratitude to Oxfam Nigeria and Boys Graduate Finishing Academy. May this forged alliance be the beginning of greater heights to achieve. I pledge and I promise to not give you rest in your office until our human capital development goals are achieved.
It is no doubt that you have demonstrated an impressive level of tenacity and resilience, and you have proven to the whole world that you are ready to take the bull of development by the horn. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, our belief at Oxfam is that the state government of Nasarawa State, we found a way to institutionalize this initiative, possibly integrate it into the state development plan. We are also believing and hoping that the government will find a way to facilitate an handshake with the National Youth Development Policy by tapping into several other opportunities that have been created by the federal government, including the National Youth Development Fund, which I believe with this initiative, Nasarawa State is eminently qualified to access such support.
I am pleased to see as many of you present here this morning for this job fair, as well as the display of the lovely products that we have all seen. Today is a unique opportunity to form partnerships between potential employers and employees. And as candidates, you need to make yourself attractive to your employers at all times. And therefore, I strongly recommend that you take this opportunity and visit as many recruitment stands. Okay, take this opportunity and make yourself available to receive this life-changing transformational activity. To those of you considering entrepreneurship, this is just a step in a marathon. You will need to build capacity where it is needed, use technology where it is required, and form business partnerships / collaborations where necessary.
Obadiah Ove and Ruth Sume are among the 100 graduates of the 2021 Employability and Entrepreneurship Training. They were both presented with prizes for their outstanding performances during the training.
This is just the beginning, and another 1 year, Ruth will be that classical example of other youth in Nasarawa State.
The training has improved on their knowledge base, and they are hopeful of doing better in their fields of endeavor.
Yeah, but particularly I feel this is timely because beside what I know, it has actually broadened horizon for me to actually think deeper, to actually view wider, and to actually envisage myself breaking boundaries where I feel before now that I cannot do it. The training provided me a platform for growth. It widened my skills in terms of presentation, communication, how to interact with people, and then self-awareness amongst others. So basically, I think it's a good one, and it gives me the platform for better growth in my career, and then for better growth as a person in general.
Before now, I have graduated like 6 years back, and because of lack of job opportunities, I decided to go and learn how to sew. And then I also learned how to sell materials. But at some point, the business failed because I didn't have efficient training. But this opportunity came, and then I learned a lot. I learned how I could boost up my business, how I could do efficient marketing. And I believe in the next 6 months, my business will not be the same.
The job fair is one of the efforts of the state government in improving the lives of youths in the state. The 18 overseers of development areas in Nasarawa State taking their oath of office and allegiance. They were appointed by Governor Abdullahi Sule following the expiration of the tenure of the former occupants. The governor is introducing these new crops of leaders to rejig the administration of local government in the state. He wants them to be prudent in the management of financial resources and serve as chief executive officers of the various development areas.
I have no doubt that your appointment is a recognition of your administrative acumen, loyalty, support, and contribution to the development strides of this administration. You should see your appointment as a reflection of the confidence government reports in you, which you should justify by turning around the fortunes of your respective development areas. You must strive to uphold the vitals of this administration, which is anchored on the principles of transparency, accountability, probity, and above all, prudence of our management resources and fear of Almighty Allah. As overseers of development areas, you should work very closely with the chairman of the local government council. Do not see them as your competitors, see them as partners in progress along with you. I also call on you to synergize with the Ministry for Local Government, Community Development and Chieftaincy Affairs through your respective local government chairman towards the realization of the policies and programs of this administration. This is intended to bring about good governance in development areas. I must, however, point out that you are not co-chairman of the local government councils.
The overseers are ready to take the bull by the horn and see to the development of their various localities. The new overseers are expected to liaise with their various council chairmen in the day-to-day runnings of their offices.
In its drive to improve revenue, the Nasarawa state government has introduced 4 new strategies, including the use of point-of-sales (POS) to track and improve revenue collection in the state. The executive chairman, Nasarawa State Internal Revenue Service, Ahmed Yakubu Muhammad, stated this at the launching of the strategies at the Government House in Lafia. Muhammad pointed out the 4 new strategies introduced to include the introduction of new point of sales POS, stamps which are specialized to be used in the state, automation of the processes and procedures of collection of revenues from tricycles and other motorized vehicles used, and the introduction of a special plate. He stated that several challenges hindering the efficient output of the board necessitated the need to introduce the new strategies so that revenue collection in the state can improve.
One is to introduce the new point of sales, which is known as POS. Secondly, to introduce adhesive stamps. These are specialized adhesive stamps that we're going to use in Nasarawa State. Fourthly, what we intend to do is that we intend to automate the processes and procedures of collections of revenue from keke and other motorized vehicles that are used in Nasarawa State. Then fourthly, what we intend to introduce to you today that you're also going to do is what is called the plate detect. But before then, I would like to give you a brief history of what we do so that I will not take much of your time, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, we came into office on 15th of March 2018. Right when we came into the office, we decided to move into work and to find out what has the major problems of the Board of Internal Revenue. And we discovered so many deficits in what is in the office. The working condition, lack of operational vehicles, motorcycles. In fact, the situation was so pathetic that we realized that it was a single motorcycle that was shared among 4 of our aerial tax offices within CAV. They share this single motorcycle on a day-to-day basis. Secondly, we had the allocation of the investment building to serve as the revenue house. The office accommodation required total repairs and rehabilitation.
Governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule, thanked the board for its skilled initiative that is plugging loopholes and wastages in the system and assured it of adequate support to ensure the success of its initiatives.
The government appreciates all your efforts, all your initiatives in trying to make this state really independent when it comes to revenue generation, for the state. I want to thank you for all the very, very skilled initiatives you are bringing about, where you are actually plugging some of the loopholes and the wastages we are having, rather than exerting more challenges on the part of various people in the state. I have discussed many times with you about all these various initiatives, the POS you mentioned, the stamps, as well as being able to capture our various sources of revenue, especially the keke napep, the tricycles, and the rest of that, which we have mentioned with you many times. And then, of course, now, the more advanced one you have brought about, the cameras. So I want to thank your technical crew as well for the effort that they are making. But I want to urge you to ensure that you provide all the proper training, before we release people out to the field. Otherwise, otherwise it will make it a joke on our own part to get out to the field when we are not ready. If we go out there when we are not ready, most likely the people will make a fool of it, and then that's the end of the whole exercise. So, especially on this issue of the POS you have mentioned, and on the issue of the cameras. The cameras, the reason why I mention is too advanced is because at the toll gates, in most cases, that is what you capture. And it works very well where enforcement is applicable, it's easier to make. But in areas where enforcement is difficult, the cameras also will make it extremely difficult for you to operate. The reason why enforcement is a key to the success of the cameras you have mentioned is that in the advanced countries where they have toll gates, today if somebody comes and then beats the toll gate without actually making payments, the cameras actually take the picture of the person violating, and the information is automatically sent, and that same information is sent by online directly to the person. So the reason why it's easier to enforce is that the next time somebody is coming to renew their license, they are told that, oh, by the way, you have this violation which you have not paid, and so they pay. They don't have a choice. So people know that there is a place where they will catch them, so they do that.
To the Vice Chancellor of Nasarawa State University, KEFI, Professor Suleiman Bala Mohammed, the concept of globalization and liberalization has given rise to many problems and challenges that require a multidisciplinary solution. Professor Suleiman made the assertion while declaring open the 6th Annual Research Fair and Exhibition, themed Multidisciplinary Research and Transformation of Nigeria.
Globalization and liberalization have given rise to many problems and challenges that can only be solved by the concerted efforts of more than one discipline. Through a multidisciplinary approach to research, researchers can gain an arsenal of skills, including but not limited to problem solving, critical thinking, time management, self-management, communication and writing, analysis and research methodologies, teamwork and team spirit that are easily transferable across work environments. To achieve the goal of conducting researches that drive knowledge-based economy, we are repositioning the university along 6 thematic areas, namely geology and mining, criminology, economics, agriculture, environment, and health. Such specialized and rigorous research efforts would assist in providing critical information that will assist in the growing of the university's creative activity. Core experts have been pulled together along these thematic areas to address the challenges that confront us, both as a state and a nation. It is worthy of note that 3 of our major consortium of researchers won the most coveted and highly competitive National Research Fund grant, sponsored by TED4. This feat is indicative of how far we can go if we work as a team.
I am particularly delighted and honored for the opportunity to speak at this event. This is a platform that avails participants the opportunity to showcase their scholarly works, research findings, exhibit and display their artistic performances.
The Research Fair and Exhibition is an opportunity for researchers to showcase their work.
I commend the management of Nasarawa State University, KEFI, for the unique interest in promoting research in the education system in Nigeria. I have no doubt in my mind that this initiative will go a long way in promoting and enhancing research quality and hopefully lead to acknowledgement and implementation by the authorities. Universities all over the world cannot on their own fund researches. Likewise, in developing countries such as Nigeria, government cannot be saddled with the huge responsibility of funding researches. Instead, that responsibility must be a shared one among stakeholders. This is events that give us opportunity or the avenue for the stakeholders to identify products that will engage their interest for investment or collaboration.
Researchers are encouraged to take steps to protect their work and increase their ability to earn from it.
We wish to encourage the research community to go beyond basic research to industry demand-driven inventions and innovations that will stand the test of time. We want to see some of our inventions being exported outside the country, whereby a royalty can be charged, and by so doing, we will increase the foreign reserve of the economy. The NOTAB in the time past has been able to bridge technology gaps. By now, we have about 55 intellectual property technology transfer offices, which the office has actually established in various universities and polytechnics in Nigeria. We have about 55 already. And what is the aim of this IPTTO? Is to ensure that some of these inventions, researches from universities or our research communities are actually pushed to the market. Because apart from having a patent, if your patent is not viable and is not commercialized, it's as good as a liability. So for a patent to be an asset, we encourage research community
to go beyond patenting and take a step further to commercialize some of these research ventures.
The Nasarawa State Health Insurance Agency was established in 2018 to administer the State Health Insurance Scheme. In this interview with TVC News, the Executive Secretary of the agency, Dr. Gaza Gwamna, speaks on the need for the people of the state to key into the scheme.
Well, anyone that is enrolled into the scheme, whether it is informal sector or formal sector, the implication of it is that when you go to access care, that's health care, you don't pay at the point of receiving care. What you might probably pay for is when, at the end of the day, diagnoses have been made, like that, and you're going to access drugs. You pay 10%. That's called co-payment. And then some huge hospital bills that we have to pay if you're not enrolled is taken off you. Major surgeries like giving cesarean section, herniorrhaphy, hernioctomy, all these things are covered. And there are other things that are covered in the benefit package that, space and time I know allow me to be able to list them. But as much as some very expensive investigations like CT scan, we do co-payment. So we pay a certain amount of, in fact, we pay almost 70% of it. So those that are enrolled might just pay like 30% of that. So it comes in individual, some are enrolled as individual, some are enrolled as household. And here household definition is, spouse, okay, the principal dependent, like that, with the spouse, and then you have 4 children, and any other person you're adding, then you pay like that. So our own household is defined as 6 persons. Example, husband and wife with 4 children. Let me simplify it that way. So some get enrolled as a family, some get enrolled as individual. So, but anyone that is enrolled, these are the services you enjoy. And the level of accessing healthcare is categorized again. Primary services for the basic care provision fund, both federal and state, they begin to access their health care from the primary health care centers. So when they need to be referred, they will be referred to the secondary health care facilities, which could be general hospital or any private hospital that offers very good, healthcare services. If they need another services that are only offered in the tertiary health institution, they are referred. So every segment is being paid for by the health insurance, agency. So it's a complete package from the primary services up to the tertiary services, so long as the services are offered for within the benefit package that we've designed. Lastly, I think I'm forgetting, we have another model, we call it adoption model, which we've adopted in Nasarawa State. So we have these philanthropies that feel that they have people around them that they usually pay for their hospital bills. So instead of paying them when they are sick, we've encouraged people to come and get them registered. Organize people, organize your constituents. If you're, a legislator or a commissioner, or you might just be, a businessman within your community and want to enroll people. Bring them, you pay for them, we give them ID cards, and then they are under your cover, and we'll offer services to them. In fact, as I'm talking to you now, over 5,500 enrollees in Akwanga local government had benefited from that kind of gesture. An organization came and then profiled the kind of population they wanted them to come on board, paid for them, and we just issued them ID card, and they are already receiving care. So the same thing, some other good Nigerians, particularly some politicians around, I don't want to mention some names now, they are already thinking they've collected forms and then they are getting them filled. In the next 1 or 2 weeks we should get there and get them enrolled and they begin to access services. So I call on all Nasarawa State citizens to adopt communities, pay for them. It's better than usually when they have to call you, my wife is in labor, has obstructed labor, and then you should come and pay for cesarean section. The best you can give them now is a certain insurance scheme, and then they stop disturbing you, calling you frequently to come and pay for their, their hospital bills. So I encourage all of us to take that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.